Well, first of all, if you're watching this from the airport or plane, I hope your travel experience is a smooth one. For a lot of people across the country right now, it certainly is not. And sure, flight delays or cancellations or long lines, they're not fun. But if that is the extent of your travel trouble because of this government shutdown, spare a thought for the federal employees working without pay during this mess. That includes air traffic controllers who keep the planes safely in the sky, but also the TSA workers who help us get safely onto the planes. According to a 2019 report from ProPublica, the TSA is one of the most diverse agencies in the federal government. Citing data from the Office of Personnel Management, they found that 1/4 of screeners are black. Reuters found that the average pay is up compared to the last shutdown in 2019. It's now more than $61,000 a year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But the now multiple missed checks during this shutdown, that's hurting. A shortage of air traffic controllers is what's leading to the FAA to start ordering a reduction in domestic flights. But as those reductions are expected to grow at airports across the country, the impact of long lines and frustrated passengers, that trickles down to them too. Here in Atlanta, we have the busiest airport in the world. Aaron Barker works there. He's a TSA employee and a leader of the American Federation of Government Employees Union. Aaron, thank you for coming in. Your members are about 1,500 TSA workers across the airports here in the state of Georgia. How are you now after 2 full missed paychecks? Are you making ends meet?
No, I am not. As most of my members are, they're not making ends meet. They're having to make really tough decisions. I consider this crisis mode. We are now at the point where today would have been a payday for officers. It's the second full missed paycheck. So now I have members who are coming, they're being evicted. Some of them are already evicted. I have one family who I just learned was sleeping in their car with children. I have another one who's expected to be evicted on Monday. I have another one who has 5 children. She's facing eviction. So these stories are coming in daily to me. So officers are really feeling this shutdown.
Do you have people who are not just calling in sick, but are leaving the job because they're not being paid?
I haven't gotten any reports of anyone leaving the job. And I want to clear something up. Officers are not calling in sick. Officers have not received a paycheck. They don't have the means to come to work. They're calling in because they can't put gas in their car or they can't afford to pay for daycare. And that brings up a whole nother thing. Daycares have wait lists. Those children that are not able to go to daycare right now, once the government reopens, they then have to be find other places to, for the care of their children while they report to work.
Let me ask you about this thinning of air traffic. 4% on Friday. It could go up, the Secretary of Transportation says, at some point to 20%. That may mean fewer people coming through the lines. Is that help for you if there are fewer flights or fewer people coming through these TSA lines?
So, I mean, in Atlanta, we're built for this in Atlanta. We deal with heavy passenger volume on a daily. So that may be the case for someone, but people are still going to be coming to Atlanta. So it may be a slight decrease in the passenger volume. It would help, but I don't think it will change much for Atlanta because of the way the airport is configured and everything. I think it will still be about the same.
Let me play something that you said a month ago. This was near the start of the shutdown.
One of the biggest concerns that I have for our members and what has been expressed to me is, the mental anguish that's coming from not the uncertainty. The concern that I have is the security risk that presents. The more that things are weighing heavily on someone's mind, that, just in general, you lose focus of what's, in front of you.
Now, every politician that I've heard has said that there's no correlation between the lack of pay and safety and security. You say there that there is a security risk created by this.
I think anyone that says that is absolutely insane. With any what we're going through as federal workers is traumatic for a lot of people. And we know that traumatic experiences have effects on your mental. So if anyone is saying that, I absolutely don't agree with that. My stance will still be that this is affecting officers mentally. And if this continues to go on, I hope that it doesn't happen, but there needs to be some recourse that happens immediately to take care of these officers so they can get the stress of not knowing what's going to happen with their homes, their children, their families every day.
All right, let's expand the conversation now and bring in Darrell Wilson, retired naval aviator and pilot who is one of the leaders of the Georgia Black Republican Council, and Theron Johnson, a Democratic strategist. Darrell, let me start with you. We just heard here from a TSA worker who says that this is a safety risk, not paying people. What's your reaction to that?
Well, that's one of the reasons that the Secretary of Transportation has taken the steps to alleviate the congestion and the stress upon the system in reducing the number of flights, as you pointed out, reducing the number of folks that come through the line for security. You have to be able to do something, take some action, and that's the action that's being taken at the time.
I don't know that that eliminates the safety risk. If he cuts the number of people who come to the line to 5 and the people who are working TSA still aren't being paid, that's the risk, is it not? That they are focused on how to pay the rent, how to pay for food, how to fill the gas tank up, instead of what's coming through on that scanner.
Oh, no, I agree with you. And Secretary Duffy has also made that case for the air traffic controllers as well. So there is a safety issue, and again, until the Democrats vote for opening the government again, you have to take some action, and action is being taken.
Theron, why did Democrats yesterday vote against a bill to pay federal workers? What justifies that?
Because Democrats want this shutdown to end that the president created. You got to remember, Victor, we tried to negotiate with the president months ago. We trusted him in the first we were first able to stop the first shutdown in March because we trusted that he was going to do the right thing. Now we're saying, hey, we can reopen this government because you guys control the White House, you control the House, and you control the Senate. Also, President Trump this week said that unless we explore the nuclear option, which he's encouraging Republicans to do, you guys are going to be blamed for the shutdown. Now, Democrats previously did vote for federal workers like Aaron and the women and men in his union to receive some pay. But going forward, we want this shutdown to end, not just continue to piecemeal it.
I mean, you can't do both. Aaron's members of his union can't keep their apartments, and they can't feed their children and put gas in the car and continue to negotiate.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Aaron and the women and men in his union for continuing to work. Our hearts and prayers are with you guys. And that's why you saw Democrats like Congresswoman Nikema Williams, who was just a couple weeks ago, who made sure that they went out to the airport and provided lunches and extended hours. Our mayor. Also, Victor, this week, I went through the airport and I handed out gas cards because, like Aaron, I had a supervisor tell me if my folks can't get to work, I can't depend on them there. But I want to go back to this public safety issue really quick. These people, these women and men on the first line of defense, we forget when you're going and rushing to that flight, they have to really make sure that they use their proper training and their skills. And if they're tired, if they're broke, and if they're sick and they got their family members complain, they may miss something. We confiscate guns at the airport all the time. So these TSA workers and these air traffic controllers need to have their jobs fully funded, and they need to be able to get their time back.
That still doesn't answer the question of why the negotiations over the ACA subsidies can continue while the federal employees get paid.
Yes, absolutely. I think we should do that, yes.
Okay.
But the Republicans are going to tell you is pass the clean resolution first. It's not an or, Victor, it's an and. I totally agree with you.
Darrell, let me come to you on the White House's fighting all the way down to the Supreme Court, paying out full SNAP benefits. I mean, the headline here is that the president is fighting paying for food stamps for 42 million people. Do you support that?
I support that we should not have interference between the legislative branch and the judicial branch trying to be activist judges. And so that's the issue. You know, is this a constitutional problem or where the judicial is overstepping their bounds? And so will the president even have the authority to do that? So they agreed with the court system, and then it was terminated by the Supreme Court temporarily.
The president has posted on social media 5 or 6 times yesterday to end the filibuster, which would allow Republicans to end the shutdown without reaching the 60-vote threshold, so they wouldn't need any Democrats. Leaders in the Republican conference are not going to do that. Thune has said it's not going to happen. I want to play the president from a little more than a decade ago about the leadership required to end a government shutdown. Let's play it.
Well, very simply, you have to get everybody in a room. You have to be a leader. The president has to lead. He's got to get Mr. Boehner and everybody else in a room, and they have to make a deal.
Where's that leadership?
Well, the leadership is, we already know the bill's already passed the House, and so that leadership has taken place. And now it's in the Senate where we're looking for Democrats just to say, let's keep
I'm
the
talking
government
about the
open.
leadership that then private citizen Trump said is that it is up to the president to lead, to get the people into a room and to negotiate a deal. It is day 39. There are members of Aaron's union who are living in their cars. Where is the president's leadership?
Well, the president has already met with both the leaders of the House and the Senate, prior to this debacle already starting, and the Democrats have made it clear that they're not going to open the government until they get what they want.
Just holding the president to the standard he set for previous presidents. Aaron, Daryl, and Theron, thank you all.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.